Hello and welcome to another episode of the Neverstraightanswer podcast, the podcast that aims to cover a wide range of topics from conspiracy theories to popular culture and news. I'm your host Gaz, and joined in the studio on remote lockdown, you know him, he's my co-host, Mr. Taylor.
Yeah, good evening ladies and gentlemen.
Lockdown 2.0. It's fucking boring, I'll tell you that much.
3.0 comes in.
What was that?
Before 3.0 comes in.
Oh, 3 point, yeah, I know, yeah. It's gonna, innit? Do you reckon?
Yeah, to see it.
Do you think it's going to happen? I'm not a lot. Well, this is what I was saying about basically why they've ended the thing on the 2nd of December, right?
Yeah.
Because it was like, don't want to throw a spanner in the works of Christmas,
Yeah.
But there's obviously a reason why they've extended that furlough period till March. So I reckon it's going to be like a little interim, a little intermission, where we can have a Christmas maybe. And then Boxing Day, it'll be boom, straight back in lockdown. Rubbish.
To ruin Christmas. And they were like, yeah, but you might ruin Christmas anyway.
Well, yeah, true that.
You know what I mean?
True that. Well, anyway, welcome to another exciting edition of the Neverstraightanswer podcast. Yay! But you know what?
Yeah.
It's a good one this week. We're going aliens.
Yeah.
We're not saying it is aliens, but it's aliens. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for joining us. Lovely new listeners and repeat offenders. We
Keep
love
repeating.
you guys. Repeating that repeater. Yeah.
Yes.
And it was like bonfire night as well, so you get the 90-shot repeaters. And it sounded like Trump then, going off on a mad tangent. The thing about corn on the cob. No, sorry, forget it. Right. This week's exciting episode, like I say, aliens. We're talking about the interesting story. Is it Travis Walton and his alien abduction and the subsequent film, biopic, science fantasy fiction, whatever you want to call it, which was written by Robert Lieberman and is it Tracy Tormé, basically based on Travis's book, The Walton Experience. So, Fire in the Sky. It's pretty interesting. We'll be going into that a little bit later on.
We will.
But first, what have you been up to this week, Mr. T?
I decided
long ago what to do a course.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Well, I'm doing one of these free courses that the government are throwing out at the moment, called Annie.com. And I'm looking at contract law, then I'm going to go into employment law and then into business law.
Right, brilliant.
Yeah, so I started
the first
module the other day.
Excellent. And how are you finding it?
Yeah, it's all right. It's not too bad. It's not hard. I know quite a bit about it, but when I get into employment law,
was it easy?
Get a little harder.
I mean, was it easy to kind of get onto the course, or was you kind of recommended it by? I was
recommended on the first one.
Right.
So
okay.
The government brought it out, and basically, it's like it's sort of to do with it's sort of diploma-ish.
See, you should have been bringing this up in the NASA. Why don't you get a job segment? In terms of you're doing a course, you can do it.
Because I never looked into it until now.
No, never mind. Well, no, that's really cool. I mean, at the end of the day, there's a lot of people out there who are considering retraining at the moment.
Yeah. It's supposedly the best time, actually.
Totally.
Now government are saying those over.
It's never
40,
a bad time to learn something new.
But there's never been anything there until now. That's
true, actually. Well, there have been, because there have been kind of courses, but very few and far between, and they always used to seem like they were a nice thought, and they'd go, oh, you know what we should do, and then they'll throw a little team together, but it never went national. Do you know what I mean? Something that every job centre or everybody could get onto.
The 25 mark. They go, right, you get everything you want. Train as much as
I remember, because I became a student quite late in life, and that was the thing I noticed, because they turned around and went, oh, nah, you're not entitled. And you'd be like, why is that? I'm a student. And they'd be like, no, because you've not been in continuous education. So like
that's ageist
so like
as well.
dentistry, right? So like, you know, you'd think as a student, a full-time student, that stuff would be covered. You know, I mean, in the UK, it's not on the NHS. You pay for your dentistry privately, or it is on the NHS to an extent, but not very well. And even then, you still have to pay for it. Like, but the bottom line is, it was just a case of that. Where was I going with this? You know, come on, you know where I'm going with this. The idea of what was I saying then?
I was talking about nurses.
Yeah. No, we wasn't. We were talking about like courses.
And you say, what's it called? Yeah. Why did I get nurses? Then?
I don't fucking know what he's talking about himself. We're talking about going on courses.
Yeah.
I've totally lost track here.
And the older courses instead of for the youngsters, where every time you went there, they'd be like, "You're too old." Or
that's what I'm getting at. Yeah. So as a mature student, you'd expect in full-time education that you'd be able to get these perks basically. And they turned around and went, no, you've got to be in continuous education. So you've got to have gone from school to college, school to sixth form to university, in that order, with no breaks. And it was like, oh, right, cheers.
Yeah.
Well, I had a gap because I had a job and a rent to pay.
These are the things. So if you play it the right way, you play it the way that you're supposed to play it, you get fucked.
It's not always right that way for some people, though. People take their own path, and like I say, it's never too old to reassess and have a look into things. I've started painting a bit this week again. Been pretty getting into it now. Been doing that, a few bits and pieces around the house.
Gonna have to get a gallery for you soon.
Finally got like an old hard drive out of my old laptop as well, and got that sorted out. And finally got access to photos I took like about 5 years ago, which is nice. So that's something. What else you been up to? Because basically, me like a lot of other people, probably been smashing off Black Ops, Call of Duty this week. Zombies is so good. High five anybody who's played zombies at the moment. Yay, high five. What I mean, you don't like the Call of Duty franchise. I did go off it, but it seems like a few of the things that I had a problem with, they've kind of addressed. And, you know, we're not in the multiplayer, but like especially in the zombies, you know. Cause
have you played the campaign on it yet?
Not yet. I've not had a chance yet.
That's generally the first thing I do, play the campaign, because then you know the area and you know.
Well, no, I don't think the maps are generally, you know, going to be totally different to the campaign maps, I suppose. But anyway, we're not here to talk about games or anything like that. I mean, we could do, but we've got more pressing things on the agenda tonight. Other than that, apologise that I've not been on social media as much recently. I'm working on it. I will be back on, and I will catch up on all my retweeting and such then. But we have a segment that we like to play during the week, and it's a bit of a riddle, isn't it, Taylor?
Oh, yes. Riddle
Taylor's been lagging a little bit recently.
Lagging? Fucking hell. I haven't even got off the step.
Well, let's put it this way, right? We've been doing this a while now, but then we changed the format, so it'd be a case of that. I ask one week, Taylor asks the next, and it's Taylor's turn to get a riddle this week from me.
It is,
right?
Yes.
And like I say, the score is currently 4-1 to me, right?
Yeah.
Gonna give you a riddle today. I'm hoping that you're gonna dig deep for this one. Right.
So am I. I need the
you ready?
One. Yeah, right. I'm ready.
Let's set the mood.
Give it to me. Give it to me.
So, your riddle this week is: I'm only one colour, but not one size. I'm stuck at the bottom, yet easily fly. I'm present in sun, but not in rain, doing no harm and feeling no pain.
Yeah.
What am I? What am I?
At first, I would say flag, but then I thought, well, hold on, in the sun and stuff like that. You know what? I'll go with shadow. Going off track here, but
Congratulations, Mr. Taylor. Got one out of the gate for once.
Yeah.
I can't believe that, Taylor. I thought that was. I mean, I thought it was the sun and the rain bit that might have gave it away, but very well. I'm very impressed. So the score now stands at 4-2. He's catching up.
I'm going to catch you, son.
He's catching up. He's got to come back with me. You've got to, what you need to do now, mate, is you need to block me next week. You need to get me a difficult one for me next week. So I get stuck at 3, giving you the opportunity to catch up. Will he catch up? We'll find out next week. Well, a week or two. Well, in the next couple of weeks. But before that, we've got a word from our sponsors this week, which is our associate, the Daily High Club subscription boxes. You can subscribe to the Daily High Club for only $29.99, and you get over $100 worth of value in every box every month. Basically, this is this month's pack is a bit spooky, so get over there and check it out. It's packed full of paraphernalia, and plus there's a Black Friday 15% off this week if you go over to the website and put the code Friday in at the checkout, and you'll get 15% off any purchase you make. So that's even better. So why don't check over there?
Like 75%.
Daily High Club. Check the link in the description.
Yeah.
Why not?
Well worth it. Well worth it.
Plus,
even if you just eat one, man, it's well worth it.
Definitely.
Especially at this time.
I'm still, you know what I mean? I'm excited to get our box, to be honest. Our boxes, whatever they're sending. Because, do you know what I mean?
Boxes and boxes of it.
Hopefully some edibles in there. Anyway. Yeah. So, again.
Yes. We
have got an exciting show coming up. And obviously we're talking Fire in the Sky with UFO abductions today, and well, as much as any other thing we're talking about, but that's pretty much the topic. But we also have another segment. We have a couple of segments that we like to talk, and this week we're going to go with the job market, because let's face it, there's a lot of people out there in the same boat as us, as you, looking for new work, looking for new opportunities, and that's why we brought. So why don't you get a job? Our new segment, NASA, why don't you get a job? We look for the weirdest, coolest, and most bizarre jobs out there.
Because there might be some people out there who want a weird job instead of having the normal 9 to 5.
I do. I don't want to be like, what do you do? And then you want to be like, well, you'll never guess what I do. Yeah. So with that in mind, I found a couple of roles. I don't know, have you found anything this week?
I found one.
Have you? I've got 3. Yeah. Right, so I'll kick off one. You can throw yours in the middle. So you can be a fake Facebooker, right? I know this is against the Facebook terms of service agreement or whatever. Yeah, but there are people who actually, use computers, who create multiple fake accounts, to serve a variety of purposes, whether they're posing as someone, having a fake profile or whatever, but people actually do make money on it. And if you want, basically you can like things, so people pay other people to set up fake accounts to like their products and services. And they're willing to pay for it. Do you know what I mean? According to a Washington Post story, fake Facebookers can make thousands of pounds per month.
So sounds like a new career.
Sounds all right. Well, that's if you don't get caught off Facebook. The Facebook police.
Yeah, and what they're going to do? Close you down? Right. All right then. I set up a new account.
I have actually. That's my business. Unfortunately, I've got a million accounts. I'll just log in as fucking Steve today.
Yeah. Because as long as you haven't got them joined together or any way connection, you'll go, all right, then they've just knocked one off, all right.
Oh, IP address, mate. IP address. They'll find you. They'll find you. The Facebook police will find you.
Try and find you.
They've got an algorithm for that. Most probably.
What are they going to do after that? What? Give you a charge? What? Fine? What? A couple of grand fine?
Ban you from Facebook. To be fair, I've tried deleting my Facebook account so many times, and they just don't let you. So I'd like to be banned off Facebook. Would that be possible? And
the only way you can be banned is by death.
No, because I know a few people who have sadly passed away, but their Facebook still notifies me that it's their birthday every year, and their Facebook's still going. You know, and
still go.
well, no, there's a couple of people who I know for a fact have Facebook pages that are still active, and people, you know, leave birthday wishes and stuff and whatnot. I mean, what do you think about that? I mean, what do you think about, like, that idea? I mean, like, would you be happy with your Facebook profile going on after you?
I don't like it going on now after I wanted to cancel
This is the thing, isn't it? Because, like you say, we've tried deleting it and it won't let you. It just says, have a break. Just have a break. Don't delete it. But we can't delete it. But, you know.
Well, no, but the best. Anyway. Well, what I did was delete all the contents, majority of the contents that was in there.
Yeah, make it blank.
Yeah, make it as bland as you can, because then no one will want to go there. What they want to go there for?
To snoop on your blandness.
Yeah. Well, I actually keep mine open just so I can have a few communications.
Go on then. What job have you got for us?
Mexico. Do you want to walk
the whole of Mexico?
Box? Yeah, you can have all of Mexico for $5.
Go on.
Do you want to walk round in Mexico with an electric box in front of you, electrocuting people who want to be electrocuted?
No. Why would you want to be electrocuted? Why would you want to be electrocuted?
Gives you a little buzz in the morning. Yeah, I'm up.
It's like, right, so you're an early morning alarm guy, and if you don't wake up, I'm going to electrocute you.
Well, you know, you're walking down the
street.
How
much does this pay? How many pesos does this pay, if you don't mind me asking?
1,200.
And does it? Is it my flights out there as well? Did they need an English-speaking buzzer person?
You get a rock to hide behind.
Yeah, you need one. I think.
Yeah, I know.
Fucking amount of people who come after you because you keep shocking them, and it's like, I'm just doing my job. It's like, dickhead, stop shocking me. I'm like, I've got a fucking quota. I've got to shock 20 people. There's not many people around here. Sorry, Bri.
Just electrocuted fucker. Put the voltage.
Yeah, vaulting him up.
Get out of the way.
Nah, I don't know.
It's a good way to people as well.
I think that one's more like, you know, falls into the category of being a torturer.
Yeah, so if you're a torturer and you love the job, get over to
Mexico.
That
sounds like if you're looking for a new a change of scenery and you like the torture game, but you're not.
You like the heat.
But you know, dungeons aren't your thing. Then Mexico, there you go.
Don't drink the tap water.
But tacos are nice. I love a taco.
Yeah, well, that's it. Nice people as well.
Lovely. I've got found this job, and apparently this is legit. Nail polish namer. So somebody has to sit around thinking up stupid names for nail polishes, apparently, and I think that goes for anything. Do you know what I mean? Do you think a marketing exec sat there thinking up drinks and names and product names and even deodorants and stuff like that? They must be named. It's like you don't want it calling, like, you know, something ridiculous.
Can't have a name that someone else has got, or like you can't name it as Beckham.
But the thing is, you can. But the thing is, you can. Box. Who said? I mean, there must be a like, you know, rules, and to say that there's certain things you can't call it because it's already called that. But that just slims down what you can call it. You know,
boss.
That's what I'm saying. So it must be why you get a lot of ridiculously named products nowadays, because they're running out. Everything's copyrighted or you know, trademarked or whatever. So it's like you know, nowadays it's, you know, perfumes, they're generally named after the person. You know, like a celebrity, because it's probably easier than trying to come up with a name for a fragrance. That's gonna sell in a market where there's millions of fragrances. But if you call it Beckham, you know, or whatever, you know, it's already got a brand. You know, you know the brand, so it's just gonna. Yeah. Well, I've got this last job before we move on to the main topic of the evening. I just thought this was a quality job. I mean, you could be a licensed PUA. Now, if you don't know what if you're not boned up with your jargon, a PUA is a professional pickup artist instructor. Yeah?
Pickup artist?
A pickup artist instructor. So he'll train someone, basically how to be, you know, a good pickup artist. You know, basically, if a man who's finds it difficult to meet a woman, yeah, he hasn't got the confidence to go up to him in a bar or whatever.
There was a guy who tried this.
The PUA boot camp, it can be expensive, but there are versions held in locations all around the world, and a PU instructor basically will teach you how to be confident with the women and help you attract a woman. Basically, that's what it is. There's been a television show on VH1 called what was it called? I don't know, but it's his mystery method anyway. This guy, James.
Davina McCall used to do it.
What? Who did?
Street Mates.
Davina McCall?
McCall used to do that.
No, that's not just... She was just like your wingman. She's just basically like that. No, what she represented, what Davina McCall represented, and if any American or foreign listeners out there who don't know what Street Mates is, it was a TV show over here in the UK when Davina McCall... who was our Big Brother host for a very long time, who's a TV presenter. She kind of got one of her starts doing Street Mates, right? Which was basically a version of schoolyard tactics. No, it was a schoolyard tactic of get your mate who's a female, get your female friend to go over to the girl you fancied in class or in the playground and say, my mate fancies you. Right. And that is literally it. So Davina would attack a guy in the street and go, oh, are you single? Let me find your love. And then she'd go, which girls do you fancy on the street? And he'd go, I'd nail her. I'd probably get off with her. Yeah. And then Davina would go, my mate fancies you. And then they'd have a date. Yeah. That was it.
But then they moved it on BBC
That wasn't, there was no pickup artist instruction there. She never taught him, give him the mysteries.
But that was the start of it.
She could have, because I'm sure Davina knows a few.
On BBC Three, they had a guy who, I can't remember his name, who did it. I think it was 2 episodes. And after the second episode, they banned it. Did they? Because the way the tactics were.
Because they made it really lewd and probably horrible.
They made it more seedy than it was.
Yeah, probably.
And stuff like that. But it was known on the internet for a long time for like getting guys to get the confidence and like, you know, go and chat up that lady or the fella whoever.
Okay.
But yeah.
Well, there you go. Well, I hope that's helped you. You know, and obviously if you're having trouble at the moment, give us a shout. We'll help you out in any way, shape or form if you're struggling trying to find a job. Also, good luck. You know, it's a trying time at the moment. We've got your back though, so don't worry. So if you've found any interesting jobs or you want to get involved in our segment, what's fucked up where you're from, then you can send us an email at neverstraightanswer@gmail.com and tell us what's going wrong in your area, what sort of hauntings or any sort of urban legends, mythical creatures, or you know, just weird shit, any weird stuff going on. You're tripping over slime. Slipping on
if
slime.
You're seeing Slimer down the road.
If you're slipping on slime or seeing ghosts, then you give us a shout. A lot of people out there though will be quite eager to know that we're moving on now to the main topic of the show, because you know we do prattle on about a bit and we do know that, but that's why you're listening to the Never a Straight Answer podcast, chicken. Do you know what I mean?
That's it.
But
get all the entertainment there,
we do move it along a little bit. Anyway, this week we're going to be talking about the Travis Walton incident. So according to Walton, on November the 5th, 1975, he was working with timber. What was it? A timber stand improvements.
He's a logger.
So basically. timber stand improvement crew in the Apolline Stillgraves, I do believe, in the national forests near Snowflake, Arizona.
That's the one.
That's it. So he's out there, and he's in his truck with 6 of his co-workers. Am I right? Yeah. Because you know more about this, and this is just what I understand. Yeah. So there's him and there's 6 of his co-workers. They encountered a saucer-shaped object hovering over the ground about 110 feet away. It was making a high-pitched buzzing sound And Walton claims that after he left the truck and approached the object, a beam of light suddenly appeared from the craft, knocking him unconscious. What do you reckon? I mean, is that correct? I mean,
well, yeah, that's mostly correct. His version is slightly different to the film version because he wants to actually make another film, but actually do it the way he wanted.
Like, you know, as he remembers it, which is fair enough, I suppose.
Yeah.
You know, you want it. I mean, the thing is about film adaptations is like they can twist it to make it a bit over blemish, twist it to make it just that bit more exciting.
Yeah, which is fair enough. You're trying to sell a movie, aren't you, at the end of the day?
Yeah, of course, and you want it to be a blockbuster sci-fi film at the end. And especially at a time when that came out, it was more kind of in the 90s. There was a big boom in X-Files, Independence Day.
True.
So these studios were probably scrambling for stories.
Definitely.
That were related and wanted to make a film, which was the Fire in the Sky movie.
Yeah. Which there's been a lot of saying that, like in the film, that they were tired on the way there. Well, they wasn't actually tired because they'd actually just took off and they'd been working all day and they were adrenaline still.
I'd still be a bit tired though, you know, at the end of the day,
Yeah, but they just
You've been logging all day. You've been logging all day, right? Yeah, but you know as well as me, right?
Yeah.
After a hard day, that minute you get in the car, right, or you get sat down for the first time when you know I've finished work for the day, your body just goes, right?
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying what they're saying isn't true, but you can't not say after a hard day's logging. Yeah, right. Yeah. And I'm sure if there's lumberjacks out there listening to the show, they'll agree with me. Yeah, right.
Yeah, but they're not going to switch off straight away.
They're not going to switch off. And that's what I'm saying. It's like you could not argue that 7 people had an encounter and you could put it all down to the fact that they were a bit tired. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not a chance, right?
No.
There's got to be something in it. So, I mean, like, so he's seen this ship. He's got out of the vehicle. I mean, what possessed him to get out of the vehicle?
Because he basically was just one of them things, according to him. He was a bit of a wild kid when he was growing up, and he was always willing to go forward. You know, he's one of them who was willing to go, I'll test it out, let's have a look.
Yeah, but he's testing it out, and then he's like fucking being
well,
a bit...
yeah.
I mean,
but
curiosity, so you're basically saying he was a curious chap. Right.
Yeah.
I mean, he must have been a bit curious. It's knocked him unconscious, you know.
Well, he hid when it first happened. He hid, and he said like the lights weren't like normal lights. It weren't coloured lights. It was like a white light, but it was strange.
Well, so the
light.
other 6 men, right? What did they do? Because they supposedly drove away, didn't they?
Well, what happened is when he'd ducked down behind a log when he'd seen this thing had seen him.
Well, so it's knocked him unconscious. So I mean, right? So wait a minute.
Well, not yet because he was.
So he's got out of the car, right? I'm just trying to set the scene in my head, right? So they drove up this road, 6 of them in the car. They've all seen it, right? Yeah. But Travis, he's decided to get out. He wants to go over and investigate. Yeah.
Because part of their job is fire cues.
Right. So the people would seen a glowing in the area. They probably went to investigate it because obviously, if there was a fire in the area, it's devastating to their business, isn't it?
Yeah.
So they've gone to investigate. They've seen this hovering ship. I've just got an update about Boris Johnson. Sorry.
Then a beam come out, and when he hid behind the rock, they were shouting, "Come to us so we can get out of it." So when he stood up, he said
beam
it was like an electric shock.
Right. Okay.
It wasn't as long as they put in the movie, but it hit him and he was like boom,
out like a light,
him straight down. Yeah.
So, well, like I say, Walton claims that the other guys must have drove away, and he also claims that he awoke up in a hospital-like room, being observed by 3 short, bald creatures.
Yeah, Well, when they drove away for a little bit. Then they stopped, and Mike, the driver, turned around and said, "Right, well, I'm going back and going to see if he's okay or not."
Okay.
And in the film, it shows that only he goes back, but actually, originally, everyone goes back with him as well to go and see if they can find him.
Right. So what do you mean? So they've gone out, the 6 guys who have gone off.
They drove off,
They drove off, but they do come back to try and find him.
Yeah,
but
they do try and come back, yeah.
Meanwhile, Walton's in this hospital place. He's got 3 short-balled creatures around him, and he claims that that he fought with them, yeah?
Yeah.
Until a more humanoid or human-type person arrived wearing a helmet and led Walton into in another room. Yeah.
Right, yeah. There's different versions of this. The film version is...
No, obviously, but the film version's the embellished, cinematic, fucking Hollywood version of it. Now, this is Walton's account. So, you know, I'm going more off Walton's account. I think the film's be great. Yeah. But like you say, Walton wants to make a new film and make it as kind of like as accurate to what actually happened. So I think
that's what this film was supposed to have been like.
Yeah,
it didn't work out.
So go on. What in the film version to the actual version? What's the differences?
Okay, in the film version, he wakes up. He sees these little grey aliens, which he can actually now say basically they were the Greys. He got up, he grabbed hold of an object and swung it. In the film...
So it was him who was the aggressor in this situation. I mean, I know he's been like, you know, you've woke up in a strange place and all the rest of it, and you've got strange creatures. I'm sure if I was in that situation and I woke up with creatures I didn't recognise over me, I'd probably freak out.
As well. Yeah.
But so he's been the aggressor. He's fought with these creatures.
In the film, it says that he hits them, but he doesn't. He says categorically he doesn't hit him. So he goes to one side of the room, and the door's on the other side of the room, and these 4 like aliens are in between. They turn, they leave the room. So when they leave the room, they've gone to the left. So he's followed him and gone to the right, and he wants to try and find a way out. Okay. Now in the film, it says that there was he was like in a skin thing on him, and that none of that happened.
Okay.
In the film, it says that there was no gravity, but there was gravity, according to Travis. They walked into a room. Within the film, it says that he walks into a room and he sees this chair with a lever. Right. He goes to the chair, sits on the chair, pulls this lever, and this map of the universe comes up. And then...
That's a bit convenient as a kind of plot device for a movie. Great, but I mean, obviously, it's like as if I walked into an alien cockpit, it'd just be so coincidental that there was the one lever I pulled was the one that booted everything up, showed me everything or what I needed to know. You know what I mean? But
originally, he went around the room. He was looking around the room, pressing buttons and that. He wanted to find a way out. There was also another issue. He was having an issue with oxygen. He wasn't getting enough oxygen, so he was like near the centre of the ship.
Now, is this in the movie?
This is
because from the account that I read of Walton claimed that he basically was led from the original room by a humanoid wearing a helmet. Walton was taken to the other room where he blacked out as 3 other humans put a clear plastic mask over his face. Walton has claimed he remembers nothing else until he was found walking by himself along a highway 5 days later.
Well, between that time, the room that he was in where he was supposed to have sat down and pulled the lever, he was rooting round in there, a humanoid come in blue suit and a clear helmet, apart from a bit of frosting on the back of the helmet. Now, he recognised now that they were more than likely to be Nordics because they were humanoid face. Their hair was sandy colour. So he'd basically, this alien had turned around and told him to follow him, and then he walked out the room and walked towards another room. So Travis decided to follow him. He was he believed he tried to help. So they walk into this other room where there's another table and 4 other Nordics there in masks.
So do you think this is who the humanoids were, the Nordics? Because so did the Nordics and the Greys kind of have this sort of relationship where they work together? Because I've seen this crop up a few times now.
Seems that there's 2 questions. There's a couple of questions about the Greys. I mean, there's one that there's a chance that they're actually robots and not actually an actual skin, or they could be actually cyborg. They could be a mix of both, supposedly. But there are a number of issues around the Greys that still needs to be answered. That we can't know the answer until we actually, say hello to one and go, blah blah blah.
Well,
so he's at this operating table. They want him to lie down. He's fighting him, but then they were strong enough to actually put him down onto this table. Now, including the instrument that he had in his hand to swipe at them, every single bit of this ship was the same material. Doesn't matter what it was all the same material. And they were also small diddy rooms as well. They weren't like, operating rooms. That these were really, he goes that they were really cramped in there.
It sounds like, well, if you were really cramped in there, you'd think that it was, that would ring true with, what an interior of a spaceship might be like. It depends how big your spaceship is, really, doesn't it? I mean, I mean, what do you know about what the ufologist community is saying about his case? I mean, what do you think the idea? Do you think people believe his story, or I mean, I know that obviously he was missing for 5 days. But obviously,
the biggest manhunt in that area in history.
Well, the 5 days that followed, Walton's UFO claims, the National Enquirer awarded Walton and his co-workers $5,000 for the best UFO case of the year, which was probably a nice little topper offer.
Oh, yeah.
After they agreed to and passed the polygraph tests administered by the Enquirer and the Aerial Phenomenal Research Organisation, the APRO, Walton, his older brother, and his mother were described by Navarro County, Arizona Sheriff as long-time students of UFOs.
Well, funny enough as well, because that sheriff actually seen a UFO not that long beforehand.
Did he?
It was also cattle mutilations that were going on around there at the time.
So he probably had discussions with Walton about it. But I mean, well, a lot of ufologists that I've found do believe Walton was abducted by aliens.
Biggest case.
Obviously, there's been, quite a lot of stuff surrounding it. Like you say, his co-workers did see the ship, by all accounts. All of the co-workers there saw the spacecraft, and they all took polygraph tests, and they all passed, except for one, apparently. And
but he went back again and had it done again. The reason was
it came back it came back inconclusive.
Yes, and do you know why?
Why?
Because they both had an issue. They had a fight days earlier.
Oh, and right. Walton, Travis and his mate?
Alan, yeah.
Travis
and
Alan.
Basically, Alan had tried it with Travis's bird, who was his wife, who he has 4 kids with. And he basically tried it in front of him, going like, come here. So they had a fight. That was it. It was over with. Nothing else. And that's why they had an issue with the polygraph, because one of the questions was, have you had an issue with Travis? And obviously he had an issue with Travis. So I think it was 2 days afterwards, he come back again and had the test done. And up to date, there's been, there was 16, but then 2 of the others have had another to test the piece. So there's
talking about
that,
there's been a lot of skepticism surrounding it, and some skeptics consider the case to be a hoax, describing it as just a way of making money out of media. UFO researcher Philip J. Klass considered Walton's story to be a hoax, basically said it was for financial gain, didn't really see any merit in it. Klass reported that he asked him to go on a polygraph test. He said he answered, basically came out of it poorly, and said that Walt basically sort of said that he was doing things like holding his breath to try and change the result of the polygraph. So, you know, obviously there are people who still claim that Walton's story's bullshit. But,
well, the polygraph test states that what is it?
No, but the thing about polygraph tests is if you can beat a polygraph test, then which you can. If you know how to, then sky's the limit.
Yeah,
you can prove it. I can prove it.
The 2 to 3.
I will take a polygraph, and then
he's had the people... 5 test, the even more in depth, so areas that you can't control.
Right. Okay. Well, I think obviously there's a lot of skepticism and a lot of belief in this story. I mean, obviously it's gone down as one of the most, biggest alongside Betty and Barney Hill and stuff like that. You know, it's one of those stories that has been brought into the media and been put on UFO shows and all the rest of it time and time again.
Here's a strange fact. You know, the actor who plays him?
Go on.
Actually was his birthday was on the day of the actual incident.
Go on, how do you mean?
Which is the 5th of November.
Really?
Yeah, it was his birthday.
Maybe he'd had a few too many scoops, that's it.
Well, and 2 of the actors as well were cousins to him or something, as well as it's like, what the hell?
Well, like I say, in 1978, Walton wrote the book, The Walton Experience, dealing with his claims, which became the basis for the 1993 film Fire in the Sky, which was a Paramount picture, basically saying that Walton's account was too fuzzy, and they put it on a few sort of Close Encounters televised sort of made screenplays and made little adaptations of the story, but basically said the gist of it was there, but obviously his recollection was too fuzzy, so that's why they've elaborated on it so much. One little fact, going into it actually here, 30 years after the book was released, Walton apparently appeared on the Fox game show Moment of Truth, and he was asked about the abduction there, about what happened on November 5th, 1975. Actually, that's, if it was 10 years later, that'd be the date Marty McFly went to November 5th, 1985. So, if he would have gone back to 1985, he wouldn't have met Doc, he wouldn't have got the almanac. No, I'm joking. We're on the wrong topic. But he was asked to do a polygraph on that.
And drug and blood tests as well.
And he basically, the polygraph determined he was lying for the Fox game show Moment of Truth. So, that's 30 years later. I mean, he might have slipped on his techniques for blagging the polygraph. You never know.
Well, yeah, but there's witnesses. There's also stuff like the trees. Here's one for you. Right.
Oh no! Give me all the facts, bro.
These trees, right? Within this area that this happened, the trees within 85 years, the trees around there have been growing there, from root. Now, within 15 years since the incident, them trees have grown more than they have within the 85 years.
Really? So do you think it's some sort of radiation that's...
There's actually papers online. There's actually papers online that tells you the actual details of it.
When I first started reading this story, I thought of the UFO story about, when they saw the ship They were driving down the road, and he gets out and he touches the ship, and he ends up getting a load of information from touching it. But it was very similar. It was very similar. It was like started with like a group of woodsmen in a truck, and they come across this ship, and one of them gets out, but he approaches it and touches it, and he keeps getting flashes of all this information, and when I started reading it, I was like, oh, is this that story? I'm sure we've looked into this, or
yeah, we have, Rendlesham Forest.
But it seems very similar to the Rendlesham Forest story.
Yeah, from the disappearance.
Well, yeah, obviously he went missing for 5 days. Yeah, but I mean,
there is correlations. But
the thing is, I mean, in terms of research and development in any sort of research area, you'll do test after test, right?
Yeah.
So the first test isn't the same as the 10th test, yeah. And they might not have necessarily needed to take somebody for 5 days during that other Rendlesham Forest test. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then later down the line, you take specimens to learn more about physiology, and I mean, at this point, I'm sure that they know all about us if they're there. Do you know what I mean?
Well, he does specifically say now that he reckons the reason why he was abducted is because they did something wrong. They wounded him, so they brought him back.
They wanted to try and
fix him. Yeah.
Yeah, because I was going to say, what did he think that the reasons behind it were?
Well, that's where he got that indication when he was getting pulled back to the table the second time, and he was like, why do they want me to go on this table? Why are they doing stuff? But I'm not feeling well. The more I'm leaving the centre of the ship, I'm getting more oxygen. There's something not right, and I think he in that time, he was
maybe they'd realised it was a dangerous place for him to be. Yeah. But then again, if there's he described other humans, now they're either Nordics or the humans. Now, if the humans, they've got the same physiology as him, so, and even if the Nordics, you don't know if they're just a different variation of humanity that have, you could argue that the human species is a lot older than we give it credit for. And you could even argue that, this isn't the first civilization humanity has been tangled up with. You could say that we came from Mars, and it's just that it's knowledge we've forgot, or things change and we move on. You could argue that we've had multiple variations of humanity at this point. But
true.
How do we know that these Nordics aren't guys who managed to get off Earth and travel onwards?
Well, I do know one thing.
Or maybe we were seeded by them originally. You never know. I think there's too much.
Could be the Anunnaki for all we know.
Who knows? But I think it's really coincidental. I mean, obviously, if you're a Star Trek fan, and you'd notice that every alien that they come across has got 2 arms, 2 legs, and a head. Do you know what I mean? It's like...
Well, this is where some of the people who don't believe it go like, well, hold on, they won't be like that. They'll be like tentacles.
Well, they might be. But
arms.
alien life is this is the point about... I was talking to you about the other day about landing on Mars. And, somebody asked the question, why do they take so long? Why haven't they gone up to Mars yet? How many rovers did they need to send? And it's like, well... Because it's contamination. It's like at the moment, it's untouched. They can take samples, and get a clear indication whether there's life on that planet or not, right? Yeah. As soon as we step foot on that planet, we've contaminated it, right? So we could pick a sample up, and it could have a bacteria on it that we get excited about and go, oh, shit, that means there's... No, it doesn't. The astronaut brought it with him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
And it... we've got that danger. So at the moment, it's get as many samples as you can, try and work out, it's like any investigation. You send in drones, you send in fucking you know, unmanned vehicles to try and get as much info.
Got robots, aren't they? At the minute, they're designing to actually put on there that can walk like a man.
Fly. They've got drone. Yeah. They've got on their new rover. They've got a drone that'll dock with the rover, but can get some great aerial shots and have a good look around and get into places that the rover couldn't. So, you know, there's a lot of scope for that sort of exploration.
There's a lot more to do.
But who knows if we've already been there once before, and that's why. And this is that branch of humanity coming back to check on us. Do you know what I mean? With the people they've encountered throughout the galaxy, greys, other species. You know what I mean? Well, it just makes me wonder why they take such a special interest in Earth.
Well, Travis reckons that he believes that they're actually watching every individual. Like, look at the technology now from what the government
you can watch us
to
subscribe.
If you put it 100 years in the future, which technology we'll be able to do that. We'll be able to watch every single individual. They're trying it now and they're succeeding the way it is.
Yeah.
But so he reckons that if you've ever seen one in the past or you reckon you've been abducted, well, that's why you've got trackers on you and stuff like that. That's where they keep the track on you, and then if there's something wrong. Because another thing come out of it as well as those who do get abducted, a majority of them have had some kind of debilitated illness, and then afterwards they're fine. It seems to be that they picked them up and gone, oh, well, you had a genetic fault there, let's fix it. Right, we'll send you back, and you'd be, over a little time, you'd get better and better and better. You know what I mean? So there is a question as are they here to harm us or to support us? But then, like with every country around the world, there are some there that are there to harm us, and there are some there that are there to support us.
That's
you know
true.
What I mean? So, and there's supposed to be more than.
Well, it's like the good and evil thing, isn't it? It's like, you know, you can't argue that one race of people are evil. Yeah. You get individuals who are evil and individuals who are good. You can't target, and that's why I don't. That's why I don't get racism. That's why I don't get racism. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Because at the end of the day, it's like people are nice, and these people who are dicks right the way through. Yeah, right. It don't matter who you are. That's the bottom line. You shouldn't be looking at any other thing. But are you a nice person? Or are you a dickhead? That is it. Yeah. Right. And even if you're a dickhead, you've still got room for improvement. Do you know what I mean? Unless you're fucking evil. You know what I mean? Like my cat. My cat's an evil dickhead.
Good. If you want a job, I'm sure Illuminati's got some openings up for you.
Oh, yeah. For me?
No, for a lunatic dickhead.
Oh, right. Oh, yeah, there you go, yeah.
Well, there's jobs there, isn't there?
Well, yeah. Well, not anymore. Joe Biden's just replaced him. Hey!
Yeah.
Hey. Anyway.
Well, also Travis said that if you want to see the best version of it, there was one on Sci-Fi Channel called Paranormal Witnesses, and he did it's like an hour program, but they did an hour and a half, and he reckons that is the best version of actually what happened.
I'd love to actually get Travis on the show just to give us his account of everything. Obviously, I'm pretty sure we've missed some stuff, and you know, obviously, if you're out there, Travis, and you want to come and tell us a story,
I'll send you an email, mate.
More than happy to have you on.
You're enjoying it.
But yeah,
then he's seen one later on as well. He's seen in the, Philadelphia.
Yeah.
The big triangle that was hanging over there, and that Kurt Russell was like the plane.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Well, according to Travis,
this isn't a real thing that happened, by the way. Kurt Russell is a movie. If you don't know who Kurt Russell is,
yeah, he's a movie star. You just look on movies and you'll see what he's like. Well, he was flying that day.
Yes, in real life, though. Yeah, he was actually flying in real life. Yeah. And in fact, didn't I see an interview where
on show he opened up and told everyone that he was actually the pilot?
That's the thing. That's the thing, right? You know, basically, he was on an interview, and he was somebody asked him about him being a pilot, right? And randomly they were covering a news story about this triangle while he was sat there, and I remember seeing the story, and he went, no, I was the pilot, and I seen it, and and everyone was like, seriously? He was like, I've never told anything that, and it shocked. You could see it shocked him that they were talking about it, because it was too much of a coincidence. I think they must have known. If he rather didn't know, of course he did. It was too interesting. But in fact, we might have to look into that and bring that in as a bit more detail, because I don't think we did that justice there. But Travis Walton, The Fire in the Sky, go and check out the movie, though the movie adaptation. But as soon as the Travis pulls his finger out and gets us a new film, which he deems more in line with what actually happened, then we'll raise the roof about it then as well.
Definitely.
Any more facts about it that you've come up with?
Why is it called Fire in the Sky? Do you know why?
Well, I assumed because it was the fact that he saw this light and that supposedly, electrocuted him, if you like, or not electrocuted him, but like incapacitated him.
Well, a lot of people think that, but it's wrong.
Go on, will enlighten us, Mr. T.
It is actually, majority of the time, like I said, if there's a fire there, they're set up to take out fires. Now, that area...
See. So they've gone, fire in the sky, and they've headed in that direction to see if there's a fire.
No.
Fuck off. Go on.
You don't
have to be so smarmy about it.
They found 3 areas being hit by lightning. There's a big lightning phenomenon that goes on there. There's a lot of lightning. And he's only just coming out with this kind of stuff. So there's more to this story than he's letting out, because there is a substance.
Has he gone through any regression or anything like that? Because obviously he doesn't remember bits, but there was 5 days there, where he was missing. So, he was conscious on the ship, and he remembers bits about being on the ship, but it seems that he only remembers the beginning, so there's 5 days that he can't account for, right? So there's definitely more to the story. What happened in those 5 days, I think obviously it wasn't a case that they dropped him off that night and he was missing in the woods for 5 days.
No, he got dropped in the telephone box at a petrol station, and the first thing he seen was the actual silver ship going.
Yeah, exactly. I was about to say that he saw the ship departing, so that makes me think that, he was on board the craft for 5 days, right? Maybe if there was some sort of regression, or if he went through some sort of hypnosis. So is there anything to suggest that, he could recall anything that happened? And maybe if he does release a new film, that might be something that's included, because I'd love to see. I'd like to see what maybe happened during those 5 days, or what he if he started to, remember things over the years, or what. Did they use some sort of technology on him to help make him forget, like, Men in Black zappy thing?
He lost a lot of strength. He didn't have a lot of strength, because when he first was waking up inside the ship, that when he looked up, he was that vivid. He thought he was in a hospital with
he's saying around. It was like he thought it was a hospital room, but until he realised he saw the bald creatures,
and it was like
grey aliens, whatever you want to call them. Right. I like the idea that a proper lumberjack bloke, he saw grey aliens, and the first thing he thought is, I'll fight you.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? It's like, I'd have a scrap until a fucking Nordic comes in and goes, hello, guys. Can we just calm down a little bit, please? I know it's all a bit of a shock.
Oh, yeah.
Don't worry. Yeah. I look like you.
Talk like you.
Do you want a perm? No, Jack.
Years later, he's seen a triangle, and it actually went over him. Massive one over his car,
and he shit himself.
And around, and then it 90 degrees, and it fucks off. And he said his missus turned round, his girlfriend at the time turned round, and supposedly had said, I should have took a photo. And he's gone, no, let's get the fuck out of here.
Let's just go. Yeah. Don't want to repeat last time's performance.
Hell no. Fuck that. Hell no. But yeah, like you said, he was dropped off like 6 miles outside the town. And just, like, he walked into town and he tried walking into town and he called, in the film it says he called the police, but he didn't, he called his mate. But it was luckily enough, this is where one of the good witnesses is as well, because luckily enough, the receptionist in between, the operator, had overheard the conversation. And when she did, she called the sheriff.
Right, okay.
So then they went and picked him up. But in the film, it shows that he gets picked up and taken to the hospital and the police station. But according to him, he gets picked up because he phones his best mate. He gets picked up and he goes straight to his mum's.
Yeah, because this sheriff's been having dealings himself.
Yeah.
So is Arizona pretty kind of big hotspot for UFOs, I take it?
Yeah. There's quite a lot of spots nowadays.
Mate, yeah. Every street corner's a hotspot these days. It's like not even a joke.
And they say there was one detective who
if you've not seen a UFO in the skies, it's something up you.
Yeah.
Nowadays. It's obviously...
Well, nowadays.
The problem with... Yeah, well, what I mean by that is, right, a few years ago, you'd look up into the sky and you'd be like, what's that? What's that blinkily thing up there? And you go, well, it's a plane. Yeah. But this year... I mean, especially early on in the year, there was no planes in the sky whatsoever. Yeah. No. So it was a perfect opportunity to cut out the noise and try and have a spot and see if you could see something, out of the ordinary. I think the Black Knight satellite's been spotted quite a few times recently, as well as a few other bits and pieces. And I think obviously UFOs are being reported. I'm not sure, but I mean, you can't take this as actual 100% fact, but I'm pretty sure MUFON have probably logged more UFO sightings this year than in recent years, and we'll have to check that out.
Yeah, definitely. I like a little bit of fun. But here's another bit of a witness as well.
Go on.
The actual Kenny was the guy who was sat in the front passenger seat next to him when he got out and left the door open and got electrocuted or lasered or whatever. Kenny actually down that arm had cancer in his arm after that.
Afterwards?
Yeah, because of radiation.
Has Travis had any issues that way?
Not as far as I'm aware. No, because he got picked up, didn't he, and fixed.
Oh, right. And so you're thinking that if he would have got out of the car as well, they would have took him and removed whatever. But you're saying that he got one arm out the car.
Well, no, because when Travis got out the car, he opened the door, ran to it.
But the side that was exposed to the open door,
it exposed his arm.
Has give him arm cancer.
Yeah,
basically. Fucking hell.
Yeah.
That's pretty.
So there was another bit of evidence.
I mean, is there any have any of the friends spoke out about what they saw? I mean, they're all trying to say, obviously we've gone over the fact that they've agreed to do polygraphs and passed, but what were the questions asked? Now you can pass a polygraph test, one side or the other, can't you? Because they could ask, "Did you see a UFO?" No, I didn't. Yeah. Answer all the questions honestly and pass it. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, but I would imagine over the years they would have, especially over the last say 20 years, they would have specialised in we've got to ask this kind of question.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Try and catch him out. Yeah, totally.
That's probably why they keep having more bloody tests, aren't they?
Interesting story.
None of them went back either.
What's
after that? None of them went back after that.
I'm sure they didn't. I mean, so they all quit the jobs?
Yeah, they all quit it straight away there. Yeah,
fair play.
Without a doubt. And then after everything, he was out of work for 2 years. Then he went and worked for a paper mill for about 7 years.
Right.
And then from there on, he's just been doing guest appearances and stuff like that. And,
I bet he seems like he's obviously, doing all right. Obviously, he's he turned his story, and that's why I can imagine why some people claim it could be a hoax, because, it's like with other stories we've covered where people start claiming it's just a media hype and they're just trying to get a bit of money. It's like, I don't think you drag yourself through all that in a lot of respects, especially for the topics and the things that they supposedly have come up with. It's almost like, it's like the Bothell Hell House, like in Keith and Linda. When it's like, people say I'm just trying to cash in or whatever, and it's like, well, why would I drag my name through this? Potentially being called a loon or whatever for what? It's not exactly making me millions here. When I can assume that, you try and salvage what you can out of your experiences in life, don't you? And if you've had one of those experiences, then trying to educate people and tell people about your story so it can be more understood is one way to go. And I think it's not a bad thing. Do you know what I mean?
That's true. Well, there's been a little weird kind of stuff happening as well with the others, because Alan and
how old are they now? If you don't, obviously it was 1975 when this has happened, so are they all old age pensioners now?
Well, Steve and John are driving long haul wagons.
Okay.
You've got Alan, sadly he died, and so did Darwin. He died as well. Kenneth went all kind of weird. He actually, on the anniversary, went to the spot and stayed there for like 3 days, I think it was.
Trying to get
He's doing like a religious kind of thing. It's like, I think it's helping.
So he's had a mad religious experience out of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Mike, he didn't mention.
It's almost like one of those things at the end of like Stand By Me. Do you know where it's like Pete went on to be a novelist?
Yeah.
John had 5 kids and got a divorce.
But there was a interesting thing of when
Old
he was
Andy
saying
Dufresne
like there's
never went back to Shawshank.
There's a new element that's very rare.
There's always do you know how many new elements get discovered around alien spacecraft? I mean, surely we could have got a new wing on the periodic table by now.
Well, yeah, we would have, wouldn't we? Fortnite, it's called.
Fortnite.
And it's very rare, apparently. You only get it from
Fortnite.
Flash. Forklight.
Forklight.
Yeah, Forklight. It's crystal. It's got special properties, and it will be highly expensive.
Bet it is.
So the aliens are probably coming picking.
Well, you never know. You see, this is what all these efforts to get out into the cosmos are for basically minerals and natural resources. Well, all we're doing now is doing what we did back in the day. Yeah, and the thing is, this is the new frontier, isn't it? Yeah, because we're all great down here on Earth. We've discovered mostly everything and everything like that. But it was like when, if you like, Christopher Columbus went off on his adventures, that he was looking for new land to get resources, local spices and wealth. Yeah, right.
Potatoes.
And potatoes, gold, whatever you've got, right? We're going to take it all back to the motherland or wherever we're from, right? That was the goal, right? Now the goal is the same. It's not to
in space.
Yeah, but because we've milked Earth. That's what the problem is. We've took every natural resource there is, and now it's like, shit. There's loads of rocks out there. I bet all of them are rich in summit. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, it's like, what sort of miner are you? Well, we'll find out when we get there. Do you know what I mean? It's not even a case of we're going up there to mine for anything in particular. It's just whatever's there when we get there, innit? Anyway.
Well, it's funny actually, because I only found out the other day, which was very interesting. I'm going to have a look more into it. Did you know space dust?
Is that what the streets? Is that what the kids are calling it these days?
No, just normal dust that's around the universe.
Space dust. Yeah. It's dust space.
Right.
Dust.
You know, when a particle hits certain ones, it turns to DNA, a DNA format. It's like, what the fuck's that about? It's the first time I've ever heard that.
I've never heard that.
I never heard of it.
If there's anyone who knows a bit about that, let us know, because that sounds pretty fucking fascinating. Anyway.
That is fascinating. Yeah.
Definitely. Moving the show onwards and upwards.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed that. I love UFO encounters. If you've had one yourself, let us know. Very interested to hear from you. We've got a featured podcast this week, as always.
Yeah.
Moving it up a bit. But the Spy Hard podcast is a weekly film podcast decoding classic spy films and spy cinema. Not only spy cinema, just cinema, mostly. Hosted by special agents, Agent Scott and Agent Cam. They look at movies and talk ace movie talk, mate. So we've got a promo, and we recommend you go and check them out and subscribe. They're available on all podcast platforms, and have a listen.
I'm Agent Scott.
And I'm Cam, the provocateur.
And we are the Spy Hards podcast. Together we go deep undercover into the world of spy movies to decode the best and worst of spy cinema. Will the film make the knock list? Well, Cam, what is the knock list?
The knock list is the need to see official classics of the Spy Hards podcast. We are curating the ultimate list of spy films, and so we're going to bounce all over the place from James Bond to Jason Bourne to who knows what, and determine whether they belong in the pantheon of all-time great spy films.
That's right. So join us every Tuesday on all your favorite podcast apps. Just search Spy Hards, that's SPYHARDS. But until then, listeners, good luck among the shadows.
So there you go. Yeah, get over to where you get your podcasts and subscribe to the Spy Hard podcast. They do a great job. What do you reckon to them?
Yeah, definitely. I definitely recommend them.
Yeah, I love a good spy movie, as do you, don't you? So yeah. Plus I think they do other movies, but that's not the thing. Get over and subscribe.
Well,
Plus,
it's in conspiracy and spy, so you can have it in a little
espionage, baby.
Yeah, like romantic espionage. You can have violent.
So tell me,
espionage,
Mr. Bond.
Yeah.
Do you expect me to talk? No, I expect you to die.
Mr. Bond.
Mr. Bond. I was saying that the best Simpsons character ever was what was it? Hank Scorpio. In the episode where Homer moves to a different power plant and he's a Bond villain.
Oh, yes.
He's absolutely brilliant. And there's a scene where he's like, "Did you expect me to talk, Mr. Well, you know, you're the whole cliche." Anyway, check them out. Spy Hard podcast. But we're moving on anyway. We've got a bit of time to kill, and we've got some news. It's the news. Hey, it's the news, and we've travelled far and wide, swam oceans, looked on the internet, and got some updates to find you the weirdest, bizarrest, and even spaciest news around. And
without a shadow.
Without a fucking doubt, baby. So I found this brilliant. I found some absolute corkers of stories this week. I'll start. Where should we start? Go on, you start us off.
I'll start. All right then.
You start us off, sunshine.
I think it was last week, or it might have been the week before, when I said, "Did you know where blackmail come from?"
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Right.
I do remember actually. Yeah. I don't, and I told you that last time. I'm pretty sure.
Okay. Well, actually, it was originally it was Scottish, and it was actually tax mail.
Right.
Originally, but then it just got changed in Scotland to blackmail as it went around the world, so everyone knew what blackmail was. So it was a secret tax, blackmail.
Okay, I can buy that.
I thought, originally Rob Roy's area.
Rob Roy. Fair enough. All right, so that's just a bit of a thing you needed to get out there.
Yeah, I needed to answer for all the fans out there from a couple of weeks ago.
We should start a new segment. Oh, didn't we used to do that, actually? Like, reductions at the end of the show.
We did, yes, but we don't fuck up that many
We don't
times.
fuck up as much anymore. That's why we don't do them anymore. That's it. See?
Yeah, well, we do, and we don't get complaints about it.
Well, that's true. Apparently, only the puppet-related complaints. I found this story that comes from Denmark, A Dutch police... Is Denmark Danish? Yeah, that's right, isn't it? Dutch. A Dutch police raid on a weed farm. Yeah. But they only found vegetables.
Yeah, she's absolutely brilliant. I was laughing my bollocks off.
Oh, it's awesome. So police followed up a lead to a supposed cannabis farm in Limburg. They were quite flummoxed by what they discovered. No evidence of any weed, marijuana, or cannabis, but they did, which is all the same thing. But they did find a lot of chicory, buckets of the stuff.
Buckets of chicory. I bet there was a few tomato plants there.
Probably. The police received an anonymous tip on Monday about the possibility of a cannabis cultivation happening at the farm. It was thought to be linked to a stolen electricity. So basically, right, I get where they're coming from right here now. So it seems that whoever was on the farm had been tapping the electric illegally. Right?
Oh, right.
So they'd been tapping the electric, and then I think the electric company has tipped off the police as a possible grow, because obviously they're burning through electric and they're not paying for it. Yeah. It's like when the meter man comes round, he's like, "Can I just check your meter?" And it's like, "No, not today."
It's one thing that you can get done for overgrowing.
Well, of course you can. It's stealing electricity for one, isn't it? But the fact is, they didn't find anything, just a lot of chicory. So was he just... I don't know how you grow chicory, but...
I have no idea.
He must have got it all out quick time.
If he did, he was smart, man.
It was like, I just cropped it. 2 weeks ago.
It might have been tipped off.
Well, maybe.
You never know. Force.
Who knows? Have you got any other thing you want to talk about, or do you want me to crack on?
Crack on. I've got a bit of Trump and then space. Oh, we've got a bit of Beatles, but I'll go with that later.
Well, I've got plenty to talk about. I've found this story about a judge who's banned a guy called David Lesh. Yeah. Okay. From millions of acres of public land.
Boy.
Right. Why would you get banned off public land?
Boy, what's he been doing? Fucking fish or something?
Fucking fish. What's he been doing? He'd be banned out of rivers, not the land. It'd be Aquaman, out of that lake. Do you know what I mean? Like, fucking get out.
With the fish.
Get on land. You're banned from water. Yeah, no, he wasn't fucking fish or wildlife. He was pooping in it. In fact, he did actually poop in the lake. So you are right. He was close to water.
But cows do that all the time.
What?
He's just another animal.
Well,
cows do it all the time. You know what I mean?
He's facing charges of trespassing.
But
they banned him.
Fair enough.
What? Well, he's a Colorado resident. He's been told he can't go on all this public land. He's agreed to it, but I mean,
and now he's going to do it on public.
How bad's that? Land. I mean, when you're caught short, and then all of a sudden,
he must be. He must have been like shitting all over the fucking place. You know what I mean? But if I can't do it in private land now, I'll do it on public land.
There was a guy, right? I mean, fair enough, right? There was a guy who was notoriously pooping on the running track at a sports centre.
Okay,
right?
yeah.
And they clean it up, and then the next night or a week later, there was a big poo on the running track again. Yeah. Now that is a notorious pooper, right?
Yeah.
They deserve banning from places, right?
Yeah.
If you just caught short and you've got to go, right? And you're in a wilderness environment.
All the time now,
he's in a wilderness environment, Maybe he thought that he could potentially go for a number twos, without any fear. But now he's been banned from 1 million acres of land.
Yeah, but he sounds like he's a serial shitter, isn't he?
I don't know. I wouldn't like to hazard a guess.
But what do you expect when, like in Britain, we've got no toilets anymore? We used to have toilets on the corners of places.
The judge says he finds it appropriate to charge Lesh on the grounds he needs to protect the land, not only from Mr. Lesh direct actions, but also from the influence of Mr. Lesh clearly has on the social media.
Would it be because of COVID?
I don't know.
Shitting COVID in.
I mean, it must be. I mean, who is this Lesh fellow? He must be something to him. I'll have to Google him. I just found the story fascinating. Come on, give us some news, fella.
Serial shitter. Oh, Trump. Trump's more like
Trump. Yeah, I wouldn't say he was admitting. He kind of slipped up, didn't he?
Yeah.
He sort of said, the next administration or whoever's the next administration, I won't be going to lockdown, but and it was like
open till February at least.
It wasn't admitting defeat. It was almost like saying, well, if there is another administration, they might put you in lockdown, but it won't be me. So basically saying again in no uncertain terms, I don't care about Corona.
Do you think it's dangerous
I don't care if you get the Corona.
Do
you think? Can I just ask a question? Do you think Trump, if he met you, would shake your hand and be pleased to meet you?
He'd probably be a prick.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He'd probably be a prick.
He doesn't want. We always say, "Don't meet your heroes."
When he said about, I seen an interview with him the other day, and he was talking about why people say they don't like masks, and he said there's a lot of people who don't like the masks. There's people who tell me they don't like the masks, and he said who? And he said waiters for one, and he went, well, why waiters? And he said, well, waiters. They're always touching the face. They're always trying to touch the masks and stuff like that. And that said to me, it's not the waiters who don't like the masks. It's Trump doesn't like waiters wearing masks because they're touching their face, they're touching the mask, then they're touching the plates, which then he has to eat from. Yeah. So it's not a case of that. It's not a case of that he's talked to waiters and he doesn't like masks and they don't like masks. It's the fact that Trump doesn't like common people as it is. Yeah, right? And if they're touching the face and they're messing with the mask and then they're touching the plate, then it's going to make him feel uncomfortable. And that's all it's about, making him feel uncomfortable.
Well, it sounds like whether if they've got a mask on or they haven't got a mask on, they're touching the face before they're touching the plate.
Either way.
And
there you go.
Either way, they shouldn't be doing that anyway. They should
be... I mean, do you think he'll say, I've had enough and enough's enough?
Well, I know.
I think because I know we were talking last week. We were talking last week, and I mean, obviously, it's not anything to do with me really. I don't live there. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. But at the end of the day, it's been interesting to follow, and I think the idea that, and I was quite happy for him to, let him have his way, let him have the recounts, let him look for voter fraud, please, because I'm quite interested to see if there is evidence, if you can provide this evidence that you're so positive then wicked, because I'd love to see it, right? But as of yet, still nothing really come up that's been bombshell or could change the game as far as I'm concerned. Do you know what I mean?
Lost this one, I think.
Come back the next one.
Let's
Let's see what he's got in store for the next campaign. Let's see if he can pull it back. That's all I can say.
Everyone calms down and if he has lost it, he's lost it.
He's lost
it. Do his stuff. Let him hang himself. Let Trump come out, tell whatever he wants to.
It's not that. I think he started getting up his own, believing his own hype towards the end. It was like when he'd come out and say stuff like, I don't even really need to be here. I didn't really want to come here. And moaning. It's all right, well, if I lived in that town where he's saying that and saying these things, it should have been in the bag, I've got to come out and work. And it's like,
you always believe what they're saying. That some people say stuff to propagate, go against someone or set someone up, arguing against them.
Yeah, I get where you're coming from, but I think see what happens. I mean, like I say, there's still a couple of months left, but what he shouldn't be doing now is neglecting his presidential duties for the next couple of weeks, months, or whatever. You're still the president. There's still a lot of people relying on you. Still kind of do the work, mate. Not that you were doing...
Do your best before you leave.
Try, because, this is it. And a lot of people have said it's not that it's his legacy now that he's affecting, because the stuff he's doing now is is kind of like the stuff he'll be remembered for. Do you know what I mean?
I want to see if Nostradamus was right and he gets attempted assassination at the end there, and then he comes back.
Comes back with a vengeance.
Well,
Trump 2.
He comes back for the next one, 2024, and then he gets assassinated on that term. I hope he doesn't, right? But,
Who knows, mate? I mean, see what happens. See what we did. If you've not listened to it yet, check out last week's episode, Nostradamus predictions for 2021. It's quite good.
If this turns out the way it's been predicted.
Well, true.
A lot of things lately have been not turning out that people
talking about assassinations and mindless violence.
Ooh, yeah,
a bit of mindless violence. We all love a bit of GTA, a bit of GTA action.
Damn right. Kick some ass.
Well, fans of the GTA Grand Theft Auto series of games living in the Ukraine basically can check out their very own experience of GTA. If you like. Right. Yeah. It's the GTA San Andreas themed supermarket.
Oh,
it exists. It's a real thing. It's seriously. At the end of the last month, the supermarket basically announced that they were opening a new location in the Ukraine. It's Silpo is known for opening themed locations and comes up with novel ideas to get people into the shops, I suppose. This time they've gone for a GTA themed supermarket. It's amazing, mate. I'll post some of the photos on Twitter.
Movies have gone into stuff like that, you know.
But it's all like GTA murals and just the whole place is themed like a GTA supermarket. I should imagine.
Expensive as well.
Totally, but I mean, I like the idea that they go out of the way to do different things to get people in the stores.
It cheers people up, gets people through the day, man.
I mean, I don't know what it's in the Ukraine, so I mean, I'm imagining the copyright laws are a bit different over there. Yeah. So I'm not sure whether they'd have to pay licensing fees or if they've done a deal with the makers of GTA to do a collab, like a collaboration. Maybe.
Yeah, because for GTA, because it's such a name and such a brand that like you could charge fucking probably $1 billion for it.
Yeah. Well, some of the pictures and murals on the wall are actually taken from the game. So they are actual graphics from the game. They're not painted or anything like that.
They have definite collaboration with them, then, unless
maybe
they get shut down tomorrow.
I can't pronounce the name of the supermarket because it's in Ukrainian or Russian or whatever it is. So I do apologise, but I'm sure if you Google, GTA themed supermarket, you will definitely find that. So many funny stuff, so many great stories tonight. So, I found this quite amusing. Lockdown things. Obviously, now the schools, a lot of schools are still open at the moment. Right? They're still in a lot of places. Yeah, fair enough, you might be on lockdown, you might be furloughed or whatever. But these schools are still kind of doing business as usual. But they keep locking the gates, right? Whilst school's in session or whatever. Now, they're doing it in France. They've done it in the UK. There's obviously once you arrive on school grounds and the bell's rung, the gates get locked, right? You're in there under the protection of the school. So
with your milk.
But what happens if you're late?
You don't go to school, you're locked out.
Well, schools are asking parents to stop throwing their late students over the gates.
Why not? Well, why are you locking
the dangerous. It's dangerous for
have
a start.
Someone at the gate.
It's not a case of that. It's like, why have you not got someone at the gate? I mean, because they're teaching your kids. At the end of the day, schools are pretty short-staffed, and especially.
Well, you're not actually, are you? Because they're not getting in. Because half of them have woke up late.
They're furloughing a lot of the staff, man. The short-staffed, they've got to deal with difficult situation, difficult ways of teaching, and
volunteer.
And they've got somebody on the. All right, then. So you're going to volunteer 5 days a week for a couple of hours to sit there and
keep universal credit deal done.
Yeah, well, at the end of the day, what I'm getting at is, and this is in France, but I'm sure that it's happening in other places as well. I mean,
but there's common sense. There's a lot of people.
That is the common sense. Totally common sense. Get your kids on to school on time. There's the common sense, right?
Thing,
that's the most ideal thing, right? You moaned for fucking months and months on end that your kids weren't in school, and now you can't even get them on time, so you're throwing them over a gate. Yeah.
Hold on. Now,
secondly, how would you feel if you chucked your kid over that fence and it broke its arm? Would you climb? You have to climb over yourself then, don't you, to try and sort it out? It's like, fucking think about this thing. If you're talking common sense, just arrive on time.
Trampoline off the other side or something then. So
why is it down to the... put a fucking crash mat on the other side. That might be decent.
The crash mats, what they're doing, they're doing fuck all because you can't touch each other. They put them outside so they get wet, and then when the kids jump over, they get soaking, they walk in, and they won't want to do that again.
Why are you late? Why are you pissed wet through? Well, why have you got a fucking broken leg? I was late, so my mum chucked me over the fence.
Yeah, because that'll teach him to get up in the morning and get there earlier. If they're not there earlier, they're sitting in the soaking wet clothes all day.
Yeah, true.
Bang.
See,
it'll wake him up.
Wake him up. It's not the kid's fault. It's not the kid's fault. I think at the end of the day, right? No. Come on. Right. I've got one thing to say, right, on this, and then I want to move on, right? The idea that a child is expected to get to school on time, is only their own responsibility when they get to high school, when the parents finally say you can go to school on your own, I don't need to drop you, I don't need to make sure you get there safely,
when the kid gets back
home, stop a minute, I'm talking, Daddy's talking, right?
Daddy's talking.
So at the end of the day, right, you've got the kid to school on time, right? That's your responsibility. It's not the kid's responsibility. So the kid shouldn't have to suffer and sit in wet clothes or have an injury or be thrown over a fence or anything like that, right? Because it wasn't asked to get there off its own back, right? It was that responsibility was in someone else's hands, right? And now, if you asked me to get you to your wedding on time, and I didn't, you'd be pissed off, right? You'd be pissed off at me, for not getting you there on time.
That's so there you go. Should be pissed off with the parent, and when he gets home or she gets home.
Wait a minute. So you're telling me your bride's not going to be pissed off at me? Because she will, and that's the equivalent of your teachers. Do you know what I mean? So, at the end of the day, it's not about the kid getting any sort of grief in this one. It's about the parent getting the kid to school on time.
Be smart enough then to give the parents grief.
It's not that. Oh my God! So basically, you're planting the blame again firmly at the children's door. It's like literally, you are the bastard. Right. Anyway, talking from one bastard to another, man accidentally. Well, check this out. I thought this was Google Maps, mate, at it again. They're catching so many people doing stuff. Well, good in this instance because a man accidentally catches his wife. Well, basically catches his wife on Google Maps canoodling with another man.
Welcome to the
Google Street View. Google Street View, innit? So a Peruvian man was left heartbroken when he was checking out Street View of his capital city on Google Maps, and basically saw his wife, a beloved wife, cozying up on a bench with another man. That's shocking.
Yeah, fucking damn right. That's outrageous.
Well, no, it's shocking that they managed to get an actual good photo, because usually it's a bit. But no, and I would argue what constitutes canoodling. But you can see the photo here, and they are 100%. I can confirm in full-blown canoodle.
So they're definitely banging each other then.
Well, unless he's having a lie down.
If you were her husband, or you were his missus, and you seen that photo that you're looking at right now, would you suspect it straight away?
Oh, mate, yeah.
definitely. Yeah.
Well, the Google Street Cam cars can capture a 360-degree angle as well. So it's also, you've got multiple angles. It's like you couldn't even say, "Oh no, he was just laying next to me." No, he's not. His head's in your lap. Do you know what I mean?
So I hope he's divorcing her then.
Probably, I don't know. So although her face is a little bit blurry, it is. Oh, what's that? Ooh. Somebody just said, "Please, something's gone wrong. Please try again."
Yeah.
I don't know what that was. It's not what I asked for, anyway.
Didn't go wrong, but did for him.
What? Well, yeah. So basically, he's the face was a bit blurry, but he recognised her from, and obviously she was having an affair with this fella. So obviously, then he's gone onto Facebook and tried to find it out. But then he's posted it on Facebook and it went viral.
Good lad.
Yeah, good on you. Always shame a cheater.
Yeah,
go for
definitely. If you can get the shame and bigger crowd, the better.
Anything you've come up with this week that you found?
Saying
something about the Beatles earlier. What was that?
Yeah. Well, the Beatles have been one of the most influential bands of all times. They've sold,
I'd say so.
Over 500 million albums, claimed 17 number one singles, and that's over just the 60 years that they've been they had been going. Well, they have been now knocked off the chart for the most expensive album that they brought out.
What?
Well, there's a chart.
Yeah or no? So the most expensive album to produce, or do you most expensive to own?
To own.
Right. Okay.
The first copy.
Yeah, first pressing of I don't know, fucking David Bowie's. David Bowie's life. Anything by.
Well, people spend a lot of money over over a few of them now.
Same as anything, really, though, isn't it? And it's like comic books, vinyl, and this is what I was saying to you a while back. In terms of collectibles, you might think it's not worth anything to you, but then to the other guy, it's worth £1 million because it completes his collection. It finishes it off, which makes his collection worth more. Do you know what I mean? So it's means nothing to you, but to him, it's one man's treasure is another man's trash.
That's it. Well, they've been
and the other way around
with the White Album.
Yeah. I've said it was going to be the White Album.
Yeah, many years, and they've got also a couple of other ones in there as well. There was one 1967 one, Sgt. Pepper.
Yeah,
that went for 290,000.
Okay,
which pretty expensive. Then they had the actual 2 demo albums, which this turns out to be, I think, the most expensive that they had.
The pressure, not the pressure, the suspense. Who's knocked the Beatles off the chart with this most expensive album ever in the world?
Well, I'll tell you what.
It's not Ed Sheeran, is it?
Was Tell Them Was You and Hello Little Girl. There was 2 demos.
Right.
They went for 77,500. Yeah?
Beatles demos. Right.
Yeah. There was just 2 demos that no one had ever heard before. So since 2015, we've only just found this out, and it happened in 2015. Someone else knocked him off the block. Now, can you guess who that was?
Kanye West.
No, but you're not that far away.
Oh no, who was it then? Snoop.
It was who?
Snoop Doggy Dogg.
No, but I would have said he was roughly up there.
Hang on, right. So we're talking about collectible vinyl, aren't we? So it's going to be somebody like NWA, or is it going to be someone like I'm going to say Dr. Dre.
No, I would, but no, it's Method Man.
Really?
Face Killer.
Seriously? Oh, fucking Wu-Tang.
Yeah, Wu-Tang Clan, actually...
No way, so Wu-Tang Clan... There's an album out there now that's the most expensive vinyl to buy, and it's a Wu-Tang album.
Once upon a time in
Shangri-La. Yeah.
That when that come out, that sold 200 million copies.
At least it's like maybe I thought my next guess was going to be like the Fugees. Maybe,
nah, they ain't been going as long as.
No, but I mean, in terms of like records sold, that first Fugees album must have been ridiculous sales.
Yeah. But Ringo owned it. There was a company called Ringo, and they owned it.
Yeah, that's a bit thingy, isn't it? A bit meta.
And they've sold it to this new owner with a contract saying they couldn't sell it, they couldn't use it, they couldn't do a lot of things with it. Because basically what it is when the album come out, they decided, you know what, we'll make a little private album, number one, and we'll just put that out. There's one copy only ever made. So this is so rare, and it went for a big number of...
Go on.
£790,000.
Really? 790? Is that and that's the most expensive vinyl?
That's the most expensive vinyl you can get at the moment.
Right, bloody hell. There you go. If you know another one which is dearer, let us know. Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, it's mad, man.
Well,
good one for the Wu-Tang.
Fucking Wu-Tang Clan getting in there. I found this mad story. Yeah, I've got a couple of kind of Rudy stories here. One found on the Vice website about this artist who's turning, wait for it, dildos into powerful political art.
Political art?
Yeah.
Why? What's it fucking doing with them?
Well,
just like putting them around like in I don't know, a zero or something.
Well, is it Gene Strine turns dildos into everything from cocktails to cupcakes to fucking anything in between. She does like crazy artwork with them. So there's a picture of one here. Do you know like a fairy tree where it has a little doorway at the bottom? Yeah, but with moss growing up the tree and stuff like that. It's like it's a dick, but it's got a little doorway and a fairy going in it, and she does all this kind of like it's almost like diorama. Yeah,
she getting kind of famous for it now.
She's done spiral staircases with the dildo as the main pole, if you like. She's done all sorts, but she's getting famous with it. She tweets her images out after she puts out new works, and people are really kind of getting on board with it, I suppose.
She used every single
with a dildo fucking artwork. She posted with this one here where it's like a half of like a plastic ray gun with a dildo coming out of the other end, and it's entitled "Cum Shot."
Oh,
so go and check it out on the Vice website. It's interesting to look at if you're in.
Yeah,
but it's artwork nonetheless, and you know what I mean. If you're gonna try something, get in there and do something a bit different. She definitely has.
Yeah, it's definitely different.
Or he, I don't know. Anyway,
definitely
found this one. A man with his check this. So a man, he's got a self-proclaimed foot fetish.
What?
He sprayed a woman's foot with corn syrup in a grocery store.
Oh shit! What? Oh my god!
I kind of do it again.
There's so many questions on that one now.
I know, yeah.
Like,
so a man accused.
Did she let him?
So a man accused of spraying a substance on a woman in multiple grocery stores, for women, I suppose, in multiple grocery stores. He's not chased one woman around multiple grocery stores. If he has, then he definitely was doing something fucking harassment.
Yeah,
he's been identified and charged in 3 separate incidents by the Ballymore Court Police. So,
say Balamory.
Balamory, what's the story?
Yeah, man.
So, on September the 9th, a woman said she was sprayed with something in the giant grocery store on Mill Run Circle. Afterwards, she reported feeling dizzy and confused. She said that the man tried following her out of the store, but she scared him off by drawing attention to the scene, so she started kicking off, basically. The following day, she basically she reported it to the news. Basically, another woman come forward saying that the same thing had happened to her, and the two stories were related. So, serial sprayer, but like he's saying that it was cornstarch or whatever. But
fuck off, cornstarch.
Oh, corn syrup. Since two other women have came forward, one says that the sprayer she was sprayed on June the 11th in the same giant as the September the 9th incident. The other woman claims that she was targeted on August the 5th at a Walmart, and another incident basically where he approached a woman and told them something was on her leg. She had paint on her leg. So, you know what I mean? He tried a different approach there.
So it's a kinky sod who's been trying...
Yeah, he sounds
trying
like
it. In the public, man, without fucking recognising he's being a dick.
Yeah, he sounds like he's being a bit of a perv, to be honest. But, like, he's clean. Like I say, according to the police, the substance he was using turned out to be non-toxic and made of corn syrup. But do you think that was just that occasion when they found him, or did he have another vial with something else in it? Because from that incident where she's saying, I felt dizzy and a bit out of sorts.
Why would you do it in a public place like that?
Because people are weird.
Something like that, I would imagine if you're going to knock someone out...
If I was going to do something like that, I'd do it in a dark alleyway, like Crime Alley.
Yeah, exactly. I would have thought... But so, unless he's getting off on the actual doing it in
danger.
Public, and
maybe.
That's probably about he's getting off on it. He's like, I'm going to get caught, I'm going to spray you, I'm going to make it think like it's my cum, and I'm just...
You sound like you've done this before. Yeah, they're talking about cum shots. No, that's exactly what I thought. I thought it was like basically he's spraying this substance on her, and it's like, you don't know what else he's got in there as well as cornstarch. Do you know what I mean? I mean,
it might be harmless, but it's not.
It's not. Whatever he's doing is definitely not harmless. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Regardless of what's in the vial or not, he's a nuisance, and he's basically. There used to be one in Manchester a few years back, and he'd sit next to girls on buses. Yeah. Oh, right. And he'd target young girls on buses, and he'd beeline for them to sit next to him, and he'd be a bit like lechy and a bit pervy. And the amount of reports that came out about this guy, I mean, I think he was apprehended in the end, but so bad. Do you know what I mean? It's like, but that's on a packed bus. Do you know? I mean, some people are weird.
People get more brazen on it now.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that if they're going to do it in front of multiple witnesses, what's to stop them doing something worse behind closed doors?
Well, then doesn't that just tell you that punishment for doing that is lax?
Well, it's not that. It's not that.
I'll give you 10 years for that.
But the punishment, the thing is with the punishment aspect of that is, they need punishing, but they also need help. Do you know what I mean?
I agree with that.
Like
I totally agree
they
with
need
that.
psychiatric talking tos, you know, and it's like the fact is putting them through the prison system is one thing, but what are they going to do as soon as they come out? They've starved. They've basically been in prison, not getting the sexual fantasies, so they go straight out and do it again. Do you know what I mean?
I totally
now
agree.
they've got loads of fucking new stuff to try as well. So
but then what?
Be careful out there,
then
people.
Tell me what's the other alternative?
Get the sprayers on.
What? Just tag him. But then you know he's going out and doing this. You know what I mean? It's a case of like, how do you?
Well, they should do it with what fits the crime. Continuing? So it's like if you're a peeping Tom, I'm sorry, son, but we're not going to castrate you. We're going to take your eyes.
Yeah, but then what if she's found innocent?
I will give you back.
After the fact, then you're like, well, sorry, mate. Here's a couple of £1,000. you got to go on the net to spend it because you can't go to a shop no more. You know what I mean? It'd be a case of fucked you.
Well, got some UFO news. More UFO news. Mystery lights and changing formation sparks UFO fears. And baffled locals. Onlookers were left stunned by chasing lights spotted across an 80-mile radius over Texas. Some convinced it was aliens.
Oh.
What do you reckon?
Well, Texas is it's flat open land, isn't it? So you can see.
That's what I was thinking.
A lot more.
So these mysterious lights were spotted changing formation in the night sky over separate counties across an 80-mile radius. Stargazers in the Dallas area claim that they saw the sightings above the skies. And then Duncansville in the south of the city shared on videos online. In Myville, yeah.
Yeah, in Yorville, man.
In Myville. Found... You've just thrown me there. Basically, a flurry of witnesses came forward to claim sightings over multiple cities in the area and convinced that the lights were caused by alien visitors.
Well, it must be because we...
Well, it must be. Videos,
the technology.
The videos are quite cool, and obviously they are changing formation, the lights as well. So it is quite radical, but who knows what it could be. A retail manager said he filmed some footage. What I saw was mesmerising, and I was visiting family for my grandmother's birthday, and I just happened to look up. I saw glowing lights hovering over, real slow. And that's when I knew that it was something out of the ordinary. Not scary, just crazy to look at. Oh, that's quite cool.
I think like the people who are out there listening now, they should like at least half an hour a day. Just pop your head out the window at
night. Have a look up.
And just
it's hard though. I mean, we've all had stay-at-home orders at the minute, so it's like, what do you do? Just can't.
UFO watch. UFO watch.
Well, there you go.
Everyone should look out and report.
If you've spotted a UFO or you've spotted something in the night sky, don't hesitate to send it to us. We'd love to see them.
We'll report it.
Send us your videos, send us your emails, send us your stories, send us your photographs to neverstraightanswer@gmail.com. We will talk about it.
Put it out there.
Trust.
We will make sure the public
know. Aliens. Lots of them about. Not saying it's aliens, but it's aliens.
Aliens.
Right, got a bit of NASA news, have we not?
Yeah. Yes, we have.
Go for it, because I know what you're going to talk about, and it's quite exciting.
We're on about Dragon capsule.
Crew Dragon, ready for takeoff in T-minus. T-minus, not very long.
No.
Might have to watch that on YouTube after we... Well, it'll be live on YouTube once we finish recording. So, in fact, it is live now because I've just had the update saying live. Watch NASA's and SpaceX launch of the 4 astronauts into space 9 minutes ago. 4 minutes ago, in fact. Yeah, so not bad.
4 crews supposed to be going to the ISS just on another test flight.
So, yeah, it's cool that they're going out and they're getting refining the tech. Basically,
because we've had problems over the last couple of months.
But that's great. I mean, at the end of the day, it's, the more tests you have, the more, exactly, it's progress. And the fact is, when they do come to doing that all important manned mission to Mars or anywhere else, they've got that tech spot on because people's lives are at stake. Do you know what I mean?
Definitely.
Excellent.
And these are brave men and women who are going out there and testing it as well. Because
so it's three men, 1 woman crew and they're going up to the ISS, I do believe. It's getting a bit busy up there at the minute, isn't it?
It is, but there's questioning about adding on and making it a bit bigger. And there's also, I think, China and Japan want to put a hotel up there, and China are looking at putting an orbiter as well, and so are some of the other countries. To be honest, I think it's time to expand a little bit more on.
I'm pretty sure they're going to now. I think they're going to now. To be honest, this seems to be a routine space flight. Let's see what happens tomorrow.
Hopefully everything goes good.
Yep, I think it will do.
Yeah.
Any other NASA news? Pretty much that's dominating the headlines this weekend with what's going on.
True.
I mean,
the rover Crusader in Mars taking a face. Facer.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Facer.
Took a selfie.
Been there since July. Yeah, that's it. So,
took a facer. Took a selfie. Get it? Come on, you're not down with the kids.
It's a new trend, man.
It's a facer.
Yeah. So it's been there since July. It's done 3 sample tests, and it's going strong.
Oh well, I've got a bit more NASA news here. Actually, SpaceX news. Elon Musk, unfortunately, he might miss tonight's launch.
Oh, why?
Because he's had to quarantine during the launch tonight. He may have COVID-19.
Oh,
so,
shit.
yeah.
A lot about.
What?
A lot bit about at the moment.
Well, there is a lot of it about, but yeah, he potentially has COVID, so he's going to be quarantining for tonight's launch. But like I say, hopefully everything will go well. He'll have a direct feed to his fucking house, that lad.
Yeah, true.
Well, there's another thing that came up about the election and space, basically, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, Trump's Space Force was something that he kept put up while, obviously in his administration. Now, the question is, Joe Biden likely to cancel it or not? I mean, the reports coming in are saying it's pretty unlikely that he would, because it's like it's become a branch of the military now, hasn't it?
Yeah,
so it's like, I think for him to disband that now would be, it'd
be idiotic, to be honest.
Well, I think obviously they've got a call for it. So I mean, at the end of the day, it's like trying to have an insight in that area, or having somebody who can, or an area of defence in that area is always an idea. So I can't see Joe Biden turning that on its head, to be fair. We'll crack on with that one. Other than that, I think that's it for the NASA news this week. Anything else you've got left? Go on.
I've got one more where since the 90s we've been looking at the universe, and it was at 2.2
been looking at it a bit longer than that, fella. Go on
the temperature.
Yeah.
And as we got taught at school, like everything, we're expanding. Yeah. So as we're expanding, we should be getting cooler. Is that not right?
Yeah, I'd say so.
The sun's going further away. There's more of it's going.
Well, it's dissipated energy as well. I think it's so. I mean, imagine that Big Bang and how hot it would have been when that exploded, and then. Even if a sun exploded, it'd be like hot, explode, and then it'd dissipate out. Yeah, so I'd agree with that.
We've been looking at this since the 90s, and actually we've been getting, which I have said this a number of times.
So it's not just global warming; it's universal warming.
Well, for some reason the universe is getting warmer, where realistically it should be dissipating.
So why is that?
Well, the CCAPP in Hawaii.
CCAPP.
Hawaii.
JTP. Go on.
Yeah. State University have actually looked into it and found since 1990 the temperature has actually gone up 4 million more kelvins.
Fucking hell. Is that quite a lot? That seems like a lot.
Seems it's 2 now.
Yeah, okay.
It was supposed to be 2.2, but now it's 2.26.
Ah, right, okay. So it's not that drastic of a change, but it is a change. So what would cause that?
Well, I was.
I mean, I know that I don't want to put you on the spot and say what causes it, but I mean, it seems a bit of a weird one that like in terms of if stands to reason that if the universe is getting warmer, then we're getting warmer as a result. Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Everything else is getting warmer. Yeah.
Well,
so
you think that's how that put baked potato in the oven?
The climate change kind of thing.
Well, you could. But that's what I'm saying. It's like if you put a potato in the oven, it cooks it. Yeah. If you've got void space or just space, and it's warm out there, the things in space would be as temperature, wouldn't? Would you think? I don't know.
funny enough, I was trying to...
Correct me if I'm wrong, please do.
There was,
I didn't get a good education.
There's a thing going off at the minute on atoms. There's supposed to be, you know, like miles of space between a single atom.
Oh, don't...
And the university is now looking
the space
at
between spaces. Is that the space between spaces?
Yeah, space between space, yeah, because...
I just watched Indiana Jones. Yeah, I know.
There's got to be something there, and they're looking into it, and it's looking kind of string theory-ish kind of theories coming out about it.
Interesting stuff.
A lot of work to go on it, yeah.
Fair play. Well, there you go. That's this week's news. NASA news, everything in between. I think that we've fully packed this show out. I don't think you can complain in terms of variety.
Oh, no, you
Well, like the variety fucking performance every week.
Yeah, as usual.
Without the Queen, it's great.
Yeah, we don't need
bless, she's going to be...
Oh, it looks like
she's
she won't
be.
abdicate now,
Is she not going to abdicate now?
No,
I'm not going nowhere, Philip.
Set anniversary for 2022. They're already doing all the stuff about it because then she'll be the longest monarch.
What? Yeah, longest monarch. That's what she's going for. She's going for the record. Yeah. I think she's
she's
already the longest monarch, isn't she? Oh, she's long.
Yeah. I think she is, but there was something they keep bringing out a report about Charles. The reason why she won't stand down is because of Charles.
Why?
And it's like, well, why are you not letting him take a year or two?
Those guys are crazy. Well,
it might be. Maybe she might think he's a fucking creep.
Yeah, I know, but there's like these 3 lines there that are ready. Do you know? Well, not ready. I mean, you've got a little toddler, but you know, at the end of the day, you've got 2 lines ready to go.
Yeah.
But a third line ready in another 20 years. Do you know what I mean?
Skip one and then go straight to the other.
So you reckon it's going to be William?
Yeah.
The King of all England. Wait, right, do you know what I think they should do? Right? What they should do, right, is Liz, right? She should do the sword in the stone thing, right? Yeah. So she gets like an anvil put in Westminster. What?
We do a story on something on this the other week about someone pulling the anvil out of the stone.
So no, maybe I don't know, but this is what Liz should do. She should get an anvil with a sword in it. Like none of them gonna get it out. Yeah, right. And let them fight amongst themselves and go. She could get on a Queen's speech and go, "Oh yes, any one of my heirs who can pull the sword out of the stone will be the next." And let's just watch him. We'll just sit there watching them fucking struggle for a few hours. It'll be mint.
Don't see him, man. Get them to fight each other, right? Whoever wins,
yes, fight to the death, like Wakanda. Yeah, because that's what serious. Yeah,
man.
That's what they should do. Yeah. They should go right. Well, Charles is technically in next. Yeah, but William's got the right to fight him for the throne.
Oh, you have to stand in the crowd going like, "Oh, I was there."
No, then he'll shout "Ibambe," and then they'll all and then we'll have a new King of England. Hurrah! And there'll be parties in the streets, I'm sure.
Yes.
Anyway,
well, funny enough, 22 anniversary, we're going to get, I think, 4 days off.
Fucking liar! I don't believe you. We've had a year off. Get Corona and get a year off.
Wow, yeah.
Days off don't sway me anymore. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's like
now, isn't it?
Days off. It's like holiday days off just don't sway me in that way they used to. Weekends don't have the same effect. So anyway, we could talk all night, but we've got some shout outs. We've got some big shout outs for Patreons. Big J. Thanks for all the support. Big shout out to Dunk Dunk. Big shout out to Swoosh. Absolutely, our first Patreon ever. We love you. And if you'd like what we do here and you want to help us keep the lights on literally, then you can come over and become a Patreon by going to www.patreon.com/Neverstraightanswer. You can chip in as much as you like, from £1 to whatever you feel like. There's actually perks for the more higher tier. So go nuts.
Any millionaires out there?
Yeah, totally. We did. What is it? We had the £1 million tier, where we'll take you for a slap up meal, and
you pay.
Well, no, you just give us the £1 million. We'll take care of the rest. Big honourable mentions. Shout out to Gareth, who's not feeling all that great. I understand you're not feeling too well, Sunshine. Hope you're feeling better soon. Better. Another person who's actually fucking injured, Jessie G, in hospital, going to hurt herself, fell on some ice. Hope you're feeling better. Big shout out to Mr. Crabtree.
Yes, Mr. Crabtree.
The Duke of Marmalade. Brian. Big shout out to Shankproof over on YouTube. Yeah. But Harriet, Christabel Crafts over on Facebook.
Yes,
check her out. She made us some absolutely epic woolly stuff. I can't wait to see what she has next. Makes next. Big shout out to Charlotte. Big shout out to Mikey and Mikey's Collectibles. Agent Coulson. Not seen you for a while. Big shout out to Liz Reader. I'm going to start your book this week. I'm going to try to. I've had so much.
It's a bit of a handful, that book.
It's massive, isn't it? No, it's not that. It's not that that's putting me off. Because, I mean, to be honest, I think it's like, it'd give War and Peace a run for its money in terms of word count. But I'm really going to. It's just that I keep finding other things that keep occupying my time. I'm not making excuses. But I will start that. Big shout out to Big Red Jake. Jake. Also, big shout out to Jimmy Evans. Also, everybody over on all the social media platforms who follow us, everyone who listens, we love you so much. Big shout out and a big round of applause. We couldn't do it without you. Thank you so much. Yes. Big shout out to our featured podcast this week, which is Spy Hard Cinema. And also, big shout out to my co-host, Mr. Taylor. Thank you so much for coming in.
And to you for hosting.
Oh, thank you. Oh, it's such like a fucking loving. Let's get a room. Well, that's the end of the show, unfortunately. If you've got something to say, if you've got a question or a comment, suggestion, or just want to tell us to shut up,
just contact us and say...
Tell us to shut up. Music just shuts off. That I think we got poltergeist. You can get in touch with us at neverstraightanswer@gmail.com. We're over on Twitter at NASA_never. You can check us out on Instagram, where I'm posting pictures and clues to the upcoming episodes over at NASA Never a Straight Answer over on Instagram. Also, we're available on all podcast platforms, wherever you get your podcast fix, from Spotify to iHeartRadio, iTunes, everywhere in between.
Everywhere. International, man.
Check us out on YouTube, where we do actually sometimes post video episodes of the podcast.
We do.
And also make sure to check out the website at neverstraightanswer at neverstraightanswer.co.uk. There we go. I'll get tongue-tied with all these. Well, that's it for us. Hope you've enjoyed the show. We'll be back next week for another thrilling episode. I've been Gaz.
I've been Taylor.
Peace.
Out.
Breath. Bye.